Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, I think I'm gonna blow your minds a little bit if you have not played Dragonair yet. We're gonna be comparing 5 things that Dragonair does that Raid should do as well, right? 5 things that I think this game just does insanely well. So we're gonna have some fun. Before we dive into our list though, this is a sponsored video from Dragonair. Thank you to them for sponsoring the video. And we do have a little trailer from them. I took a quick glimpse and it seems amazingly high quality. We're gonna check that out right here, right now. And at the same time, I'm gonna be telling you about the official crossover, which this trailer is celebrating between Dungeons & Dragons, the #1 tabletop role-playing game in the world, and Dragonair, which began on the 17th of November and is still running. The big thing about this, you're going to be able to actually get Drizzt Do Erden, a D&D legend. There's an entire story campaign that you can play through, and Drizzt will actually join you in that, which is awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see this crossover between the tabletop role-playing game in D&D and Dragonair, because there's a ton of tabletop role-playing elements such as dice rolling and things like that in Dragonair. Dragonair's been massively successful. It's been over 10 million downloads worldwide, and it's got the top spot in over 10 regions since its global launch. During this collaboration, you'll be able to get Drizzt and his panther. I don't think those are the panthers in the background, but that is Erich. She's another free legendary hero you can get from playing the campaign. But Drizzt, his companion Guinevere, the Black Panther, will be available for you to unlock in-game by summoning Heliolite dices like we're seeing here in the Planeswalker summoning event. You can earn Hunter's Blades to unlock Drizzt Do Erden himself. You get those. You can also get Hunter's Blades by taking on Ertu the Baylor, which is an awesome boss, and you can fight that every single day. Build up your custom teams. We did a video on that before, and you can actually unlock Drizzt by doing that as well. There are also unique customizable dice available. This is pretty. Is he going in with like a spatula or something? What is he doing? Oh my god. But yeah, you can also unlock skins for your dice in game, the D20 and the D4, by participating in this event. And yeah, the game, I forgot to mention, you can download it with the link down below. It's available on PC, on Mac, on iOS, on Android. On PC, it's on Epic Game Store or on Steam. So yeah, join D&D Legends today in Dragonair. Now, let's dive in to what this game does well. So the first thing I want to do, let's hop on over here actually to the arena. I think this is just unbelievably cool, right? We're going to fast travel over. If I show you my heroes right now, okay? Like, look at this. So I've got a few level 100, okay? But I've got a few level 95 and 90, and then I've got a whole ton of heroes I've collected that I've not actually built up yet. Well, if I jump into the Grand Arena, and let's say I'm going to go into just one of these fights, any of these fights, and he only has one thing in. But look at this. All my heroes are here at the bottom. They're all leveled up to level 100, right? In Arena, in all of the arenas, in all of these PvP modes, it actually levels up every single champion that you own to the same level as your highest level champion. So this turns Arena from something which, you know, in Raid can be a bit of a grind. It can be a bit boring sometimes, to this amazing sandbox, right? Where I can come in and I can be like, oh, well, let's say, like, I think this guy's super cool, Karaman, right? If I let me put him in, I can experiment with putting Karaman in, and I could pop gear on him as well. We'll touch on that in a second, but I can bring him in. He's level 100, this cool, like, flaming head knight guy, and I can try him out in the team. I can experiment. I pull a new champion. I can go and I can play with them straight away in Arena at max level, right? There's no waiting, there's no grinding. They're just good to go straight away, which is, it's just incredible. Let me touch on something else. If I come back, here's where the menu is. I think this is just so cool as well, right? So let me say, like, over here, for instance, let me look at, right, this is the gear that is on, let me move me slightly. This is the gear that's on my main character, right? On me, Nubair, over here. This is the gear. And when I come in to the Grand Arena, there is a completely separate gearing system in the Grand Arena for PvP. There's a completely different system. I can press the sync equipment button. Okay, and this is going to automatically equip everything I have on this character. But I could say, for instance, let me say, like, oh, I want to take, let's take these fire runes off. Let's put them on this character instead. So I can come over here and say, actually, I want to use Tonalan, Tanalnan. I think you say that. Talan. She's actually really big single target damage dealer. Wouldn't be amazing for arena, I think, but very strong for like the vortex or something. Let me say I put these runes on her right here. I can just take all the gear off of Nubkeks over. It doesn't matter. This is her competitive gear set, and then I come back into PvE, right? All the dungeons and all the campaign and all of that, and it's different, right? Your gear, it's the same gear, but you can assign it totally different in PvP. So again, this gives you huge flexibility. Choose the champions you want, move around the gear as you want for PvP. There's no restrictions, right? Just go for it. And again, I think that is just so insanely fun. It makes PvP this amazing. Yeah, it just lets you use different champions as well, which is cool, but it lets you experiment, which is really fun. So one example that I do is Hexandra. I've got her in like my healing gear, because I use her as my healer, but I don't actually use her. I think maybe I do now, because again, I've been mixing things around so much. Am I using her? No, you can see I don't actually have her geared up for arena. I think I'm using Vivek. Yeah, I'm using Vivek over here, though I did just get a new artifact today, so I'm going to swap that over onto him, which is going to make him an even better healer. But he's the healer I'm actually using in arena. So I've got the same gear, but on two different champions for the different game modes. It's just insanely good, guys. Not only that, let's stick on the gear topic for point number 3. Free gear swapping. Let's come back over to Nubkeks over here once again. Let's look at Nubkeks. So at Nubkeks, I can say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I prefer it with this, but now I probably wouldn't. I'm losing a bunch of crit rate, but I can just do this. Okay, it's equipped by somebody else. No problem. Swap it on over. We're all good. Now, what I was actually using this one, so I can just throw it back on. There is no cost to swapping gear, and I think I've not really used it much, but I believe you can actually come in here and you can set up like a gear plans, right, for different gear sets to swap around for different things in the game. You can also set up your teams. Even if I go into, let's say, a dungeon, let's hop over to a dungeon real fast. We're actually going to go to Goblin's Lair next, so let's dive in there. But you can actually set up gear sets for the Vortex, which is like the clan boss, the big boss, right? I can set up gear sets for the dungeon, so when I come in, I can come in here, and I can be like, okay, let's load up this. Yeah, let's bring in their equipment plan. I can adjust the equipment plan. I can swap everything. Let me move me here. I can swap everything, right? And bam. Brilliant. You know, I can just freely swap for every single thing. It just frees up it's so less stressful, right? It frees up so much time. In Raid, you have to spend silver to swap gear, and it's really punitive. In this game, you want to swap gear in your champions? Go for it. Set a preset so you can swap it around. Always bring the best gear at no cost to each of your teams in every different area of the game. It just lets you progress further. It lets you experiment and try different builds and try different things. And that is so good. Like, I've been trying so many different builds on so many different characters. It just makes a huge difference. Let's touch on another thing. So let's actually do this right here, right now. This is the Goblin's Lair. And I think this is a really fun thing, right? In Raid Shadow Legends, it's very frustrating. It's a very tedious process to level up champions, right? You got to bring in these duplicate champions you don't want and level them up and then swap them out for other ones, swap them out. And you're constantly clicking and swapping things around. And then you've got to feed them to each other. And then you've got to feed those to other things. And let's be honest, it is an immensely tedious process. It just kind of sucks. What Dragonheir has, I think it's two things it does really well. Number one, I'll show you the open world in a second, but they've got a whole campaign, which is like a proper story-based thing, right? You've got a proper story to play through, an open world to explore with treasures to find, quests and side quests to do. So you have an actual campaign that you just go through the once. And then I think what's going to be happening is that there's going to be seasons in the game, and each new season is going to bring in a new campaign, which is just a brilliant idea. How do you level up your champions then? Well, probably the main way is actually by doing Goblin Lair, right? So you can see Goblin Lair, we're just being attacked by waves of enemies. So for this dungeon, I want to bring in really good AoE damage dealers, right? So this is a really fun thing. Okay, bring in my best damage dealers, try to build the best team to clear it quickly. Like you can see, I'm still progressing through this. I'm on Goblin Lair 3, stage 2 right now. If I beat it with 50 seconds remaining, I get the maximum rewards. I haven't quite been able to do that. We're sort of getting there slowly. I'm building up some new champions to maybe take that on. We're going to switch around that gear for free to do it, right? But we come in here, and again, it's really fun actually to build it, right? It's just satisfying to build a big AoE damage team, right? These champions that are just blasting AoE damage and ripping fools apart. That is just fun. And then when you clear it, depending on how well you do, you're going to get these XP potions, right? How do we use those? Well, it's a very, very simple process. Let me actually take someone that's fairly low level so you can see exactly how it works. Let's take Erich. I haven't actually really gotten around to using Erich much. He's a legendary you get for free for doing the campaign. We can upgrade him and actually level people up, use the XP potions, right? So you can quick upgrade and bam, he's up to 50. It's that simple. And then you can also star them up. And one thing that's really cool about this as well that I love, there we go. We've now unlocked level 70. We've also increased all of his base stats. He can equip new gear types. And look, it doesn't level him down. He's still level 50, and then we could level him up more from there, right? And you've got to go through this multiple times. There's other dungeons you go through to get these gems that you use to rank them up. So let me see. I'll show you over here. Cypherus, for example, you have to use like these gems you get from the domain. So again, there's really fun, unique dungeons. You have to bring in different teams to beat those, to rank them up. But it's just so much more simple, fun, and streamlined. Yeah, I think it's so much better, right? It really removes so much of the tedium, and it just makes a lot more sense. It makes so much more sense. Can we get Talonlan up to 90? Oh, almost. We're almost there. But yeah, makes a big difference. On top of that, oh, let me show you the campaign, and then we'll cover point number 5. But like for the campaign, right? Like this is one area of the campaign. Here's another area right here. Another area even goes all the way up here. Like, you know, it's just this big world map for you to explore. You see, I do have a lot of side quests still to do over in this area. There's just so much stuff to do, and it is just fantastic. The final thing, which ties into this leveling thing, and this is something I really like, is how duplicates work in the game, right? You only get one copy of each champion, of each hero, and then you've got them permanently, and that's it. They are unlocked for your account. So, right, you were just collecting them, but it means like, Chrysos is probably my favorite legendary in the game, but, you know, I can't get more Chrysos, right? I can't bring in a team of 5 Chrysos. If I pull an extra copy of him, it's going to give me some unique resources, which is actually, again, really cool. So over here, right, you start getting, you get these imprint stones is what they're called, imprints. And you get those for getting duplicates, right? So you can see, you can actually buy pieces of gear with this. So for example, the dancing gyro, if I get some rare duplicates, I've already done this, you can buy the dancing gyro, which is going to give you percentage attack. And as you level it up, it's going to give you extra attack speed. Or let's see, one that was really cool, volcanic disc. This is one of my favorites, again, attack percent, but it gives you a big damage bonus on your ultimate skill. It's the same thing with the epics. I've got a few of these so far, not too many, but for example, the Crown of the Unclean is going to give me defense and accuracy. And whenever I use my ultimate skill to damage enemies, I've got a chance to put defense penalty on a target for 10 seconds, right? So this is really impactful. So you get those for getting dupes. Then when you're getting dupes, you are also going to get a currency to upgrade these artifacts, right? And each hero, each champion can equip one artifact. So you can really tailor your builds. So yeah, again, it just removes that tedium. Instead of having all these dupe champions and feeding them to each other and leveling them all up, and it's just a big waste of time. It's just really simple, really streamlined. Every duplicate you get is helping you progress along and upgrade this stuff. Like the one I just got here today, this is super cool, the Mirror of the Living, which is an epic artifact. Just got this one today. I've been able to refine it up to level 12, and now I've got to save up more of this Essence of Creation. Yeah, Essence of Creation currency to level up more. But this one is making me do 30% more healing to allies that are low on life, right? Absolutely brilliant. In fact, the sort of double combos well with Hexandra, who's from the campaign, who does bonus healing when they're low on life. So, you know, it's a win-win. She just does a massive heal now. It's kind of disgusting, actually. Yeah, it's just slick, right? Honestly, it is just slick, and it is so much better. So yeah, there you go. Those are 5 things. I think they're pretty incredible. calling it quality of life is almost too small a thing, but it is pretty cool. I guess one other thing to point out with the dupe system with the legendaries, I haven't experimented with this because I don't have a duplicate legendary, but you can actually start using your soul imprints to start giving them permanent benefits, right? So gets a shield when casting his battle skill. When he's low on life, he starts healing up. Fun stuff like that. He gives more shields. He gets 50 extra accuracy. He starts healing more from the shields he gets. Like, you can get really cool permanent upgrades to your legendary champions from getting duplicates. So that's a big power thing for sure. But yeah, man, I'm loving it. So let me know, what do you think? Have you tried out Dragonair? What do you think? Have I missed anything in terms of like top things they do that Raid doesn't? I'm curious. And yeah, let me know what you think if you're a Raid player who's seeing this for the first time. I imagine your mind's been kind of blown. Thank you again to Dragonair for sponsoring this video. It's an open world strategy RPG with a Western fantasy theme that seamlessly integrates classic Western tabletop gameplay inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. So to give it a try and take part in the D&D and Dragonair official collaboration, click the link in the description or the pinned comment down below and join D&D Legends and Dragonair today.